Hey guys, it's Stephen here. Just a very quick video. I'm still in my dressing as well because it's cold. That's how quickly I just jumped onto the camera here. Arteta could be joining Arsenal in the world's least surprising surprise, basically. I mean, that's kind of really breaking this afternoon. I mentioned it a little bit earlier as well in my Champions League reaction draw video, which you can go watch, by the way. There'll be a link on screen right about now. But this story really is unfolding after Arsenal snuck round to Arteta's house last night at 1 in the morning. Genuinely did that to interview him. It's really going to happen. It's obviously going to happen. The most notable thing for me is that they're clearly not interviewing him. He's clearly interviewing them. The fact that they're coming to his house at that time of night after he's already been in London, they really obviously want him. They're really obviously going to try and get him, and that's kind of understandable. Now, my initial thoughts about this. It's a shame. Of course, it's a shame that Arteta's going to be going because Arteta has been credited with having a massive influence, most notably on Raheem Sterling's kind of development over the past couple of years. And he's been at City now for 3.5 years alongside Guardiola. He's been a very obvious and a very understandable link between Guardiola's time at Manchester City, between Guardiola's knowledge and what the Premier League knowledge. So Arteta has acted alongside people like Brian Kidd as that buffer, as someone who only recently retired from football, especially with his experience in the Premier League. Arteta's been absolutely invaluable in Manchester City, so it definitely is a shame to see him go. Now, some people have been saying, and I understand this point, why are we letting him go now? It's a massive loss at this time of the season. In my humble opinion, I don't really think we've got much say in this. I think in general, well, once they pay up his contract, he's gone. They can do that. They can't really stop him. And what have we really got to gain from keeping him at Manchester City a little bit longer? This season is a bit of a write-off in terms of the league. I know we're kind of going to lose him as a coach for the rest of the competitions. And also we risk kind of losing his faith. And we risk also losing the faith of other young managers that could potentially start their careers at Manchester City as a coach. Now, what with City want to show is this kind of a pathway to the managing the team. Genuinely, we're trying to show that City can get these kind of young coaches in-house, give them kind of roles around the City Football Group and eventually become a manager at Manchester City. And if we start holding Arteta to kind of rant him and put him in garden leave or something like that for 6 months, then we're basically destroying that trust already immediately. So I've seen a few people on Twitter saying as well, we look a bit weak if we do this. I don't really agree. I mean, since when has coaches ever been stopped from being a manager? It just doesn't happen in the game. I think we're in an era now with social media where we get rolling news, so everything's blown up to huge proportions, and we're seen as weak if we let a coach go. No, coaches genuinely leave all the time. This is just natural. It's part of the game. It has been part of the game. But now we see it constantly we've got such an access to football teams these days that we see so many articles about absolutely everyone, because people have to write content and make videos all the time and do content and write constant news, basically, that even people like Arteta, coaches, get a lot of attention. Now, obviously it's deserved, and obviously it's great that we see this insight, but as a result, I think we lose a little bit of perspective in general. Now, Arteta, I don't think it's worth kind of upsetting the relationship that we've got with Arteta to keep him there at Manchester City. I also don't think he's going to know anything that's really going to be a surprise to Arsenal. He's not going to go there and shows our future plans for the next 4 years, because I guarantee you everyone in football is worth their money. In general, knows what Manchester City are going to be doing. It won't be a surprise that in general teams know who teams are going to try and sign, because agents talk, players talk, coaches talk, journos know people, everyone talks. It's not really hard to know if you win the game, especially if you're a powerful agent, who another team's going for, and they all do spill the beans. Don't be so naive. So there's no secrets that Manchester City have got that probably aren't that secret. Even then, what's going to be a Manchester City's transfer list? Someone like Koulibaly or someone like that. Oh wow, one of the best defenders in world football. What a surprise. Unless we've got some wonder kid there no one knows of, I'm not really sold on this idea that City have got a lot to lose in terms of secrets, other than maybe just his tactical knowledge that he's learned from Guardiola. But once again, it's not what Guardiola does that makes him special, it's how he does it always. Loads of coaches are more than capable of understanding Guardiola's method of football, but what Guardiola does, he kind of combines that with an incredible ability to teach and that passion and that motivation. That's what makes it work. The methods are great, of course, but if you can't teach it and you can't show players how to do it, it's absolutely pointless. So Guardiola will go and tell all this kind of stuff. Not Guardiola, sorry. Arteta will obviously know all this stuff, and loads of other coaches will too, but it's whether he's got the ability to put that into place. Now, of course, it's a huge loss if he goes. I can't really blame him. Arsenal obviously is a big club. It's a very big club, and it's a big close club that's very close to his heart. They really like him there. He obviously loves the club, and it's a massive step. It's a massive step if he goes there. I can only presume in general that if he does, he's been given some reassurances that But the club will back him and give him time because he's going to need it, because Arsenal are an absolute mess, as we know. Not many coaches want to take over a team that they've just seen their team be coached batter 3-0. Yeah, Arteta could be doing that, but you don't really blame him because, it's absolutely huge potentially for him. I'm not Ars personally. Genuinely, I think we've got to kind of have to respect his wishes. This was always going to happen in general, and people move on. We weren't really that bothered about Dominic Torrent going, at one point, so why are we that bothered about Arteta going? It's definitely a bad thing in terms of Manchester City, but largely Arteta is just a supporting cast to the main star, which is Pep Guardiola. He's good and all that, but the man that makes everyone tick is always going to be Pep Guardiola. That's just the way this rolls, and always the most important person will be the manager. And Guardiola is such an indomitable presence in general that no one really can have a big influence on that team other than him. Honestly, that's how he is. As it is, it could be an opportunity. Sometimes you say you should change your coach every now and then, your supporting coaches, to get a fresh perspective. And given the state of City at the moment, maybe that's not such a bad thing that will have an enforced change. Maybe someone like Xavi or Xabi Alonso or Van Bronckhorst, some bright young mind, just kind of on the cusp of making a name of themselves in coaching in general, could come in and show themselves, basically offer a new perspective and maybe freshen things up a little bit. An absolute legend of the game. Someone like Xavi coming in would be great, wouldn't it? Or Xabi Alonso would be fantastic. Xabi Alonso, for example, is currently managing a Real Sociedad's B team, I think. Someone like him would be great, and it could be a really nice change of scenery. So he's going to go, obviously. I mean, for the next few days, I expect he's going to be named Arsenal manager. He might change his mind. You never know. He might not go. It seems very likely. As it is, my personal take is I'm not too concerned about it. It isn't great news, of course. But, football kind of goes on. Guardiola will stay around. Manchester City, I'm sure. We'll make the most of it. We've got very good kind of procession planning with these kind of things, and I'm sure we'll find a very good coach to replace him. It'll be a loss. But there's nothing we can do, really. There's nothing we can do. We've got our hands tied in this situation, and we've always promised, obviously, any coaches that come in and work close to Guardiola, especially the ones learning basically learning how to be a coach, that if they get a good offer, they can go. That's part of the deal. That's why we get someone like Arteta in the first place, and that's why I'm sure we'll get another very good manager or very good coach, potential manager, to come in and hopefully be the long-term successor to Guardiola. Guys, that's just my thoughts on the situation. Go and check out my Champions League match reaction video from earlier. We've got Real Madrid, which is fascinating. I'm not nervous though. I'm looking forward to it. That's the team I wanted. I'm feeling bullish at the moment. But anyway, let me know what you think about Arteta potentially going. For now, I'm going to go and chill. And I'm dressing girl still. Sorry, I forgot to take it off. In a bit.